Today I'm going to reveal what I believe is Elon Musk's next trillion-dollar company, which over the next couple of years is probably going to be the world's biggest and most valuable company. And I'm also going to reveal how you can personally invest in this company as well, so you can go along for the ride and potentially make a whole ton of money. So if you're excited to watch the video, want to like, want to subscribe to the channel to get more content like this. Just in a full act of honesty and transparency, I found all of this information out from Jeff Brown, who's one of the leading tech investors in the world and analysts. So what I'm sharing with you came from him. I'm not, an investment expert or anything like that. I'm just like a normal guy who's really interested in this stuff, and information I learn I want to put out there and share with you. If you want to go into greater detail about this, I'll leave a link down below to a presentation Jeff did all about this opportunity. Okay, so let's get on with it. So Jeff believes that Elon Musk is about to bring one of his, it's his most valuable and fastest growing company, and he's going to bring it to the public through an IPO. And if this happens, it's going to be $1 trillion IPO. And basically, what is this company? So this is SpaceX. We're talking about SpaceX here. And you're probably thinking, well, it's just like a lost leading, rocket company. But there's a couple of things you do not know about SpaceX that I only learned after listening to Jeff. Now, SpaceX also runs Starlink. Now, I've got some notes here. I just want to keep on track. So I'll give you all of the important information. So Starlink runs the world's only global satellite communications network. And that is really, really important to remember. And basically, SpaceX rockets are basically putting all of these Starlink satellites into space that eventually is going to create a massive, there's going to be no competition to this. It's going to be the only global internet, 100% global coverage, and eventually we're all going to be using Starlink. And there's more to this than meets the eye. But on the surface, this is basically going to be world's biggest internet service providers. I believe it's also going to be running with AI, so AI can communicate with all of the tech, because we're all going to be connected with AI in the future, whether you like it or not. So Starlink is a huge deal to how AI operates in the future, and on so many different levels. So just bear that in mind. So I'm just going to give you some really interesting stats. So Starlink currently has an annual revenue of 6.5 billion. Pretty healthy, you would say. And every week, SpaceX launches 60 new Starlink satellites into space. Now, in the next 12 months, there'll be 10,000 Starlink satellites in space, which will give full global coverage. So this is growing really, really fast. And basically, Starlink currently has 5 million users, so pretty small. When you bear in mind that there's 5.5 billion internet users globally, so if 10% of the global internet users use Starlink, that's 550 million users, which is 100x the current subscriber base. And that is barely touching the service. And I think eventually, I think by 2030 we'll all be using Starlink service, and it's going to be the most valuable company on the planet. And also, this is Musk's service is going to be way more efficient and cheaper than the current way we get internet, which is through fiber optic cables, because they're really hard to lay, very expensive. So Musk is basically, he's setting the game, and he has got a global market. This only happens once every sort of 1 or 2 decades, and it is happening right now. I mean, SpaceX and Starlink, so SpaceX owns Starlink, is setting itself up to be the world's most valuable company in the next couple of years. And when it goes to IPO, which Jeff believes, it's going to be $1 trillion company. And the people who invest early are going to make filthy money. And like I said, I think the goal with Starlink is to basically capture the entire global internet service. Elon's service, I think global governments have basically chosen Elon to do this. They're letting him do it. I think that's why Trump is basically green lighting all of the AI services, because what I think is going to happen is within the next 5 or so years, there's going to be a central AI hive brain, and all of the AI tech is going to be linked to that, and basically globally, and the way it's going to communicate is through Starlink. So Starlink is basically going to be the sky grid that's going to basically power AI, that's going to run all of the tech in the future, like digital IDs and all of that. I don't agree with digital IDs and facial recognition and anything like that, but that's where we're kind of heading, and Starlink is going to be the internet service provider to happen. And I think that's why Trump is giving the go ahead for all of the AI, because he is going to be, and all governments around the world are going to be using Musk's Starlink to basically connect all of AI and all of tech through Starlink. And this is basically the biggest bet out there at the moment. I truly believe that. There's no bigger bet than this. And like I said, the exciting thing is you can invest in it. Now, like I said, this is a private company. You can't just go and invest in Musk's companies because they're private. You either have to know him personally, know insiders who know him, or be a venture capitalist with huge pockets. But that Jeff has found a way you can do this, and you can invest for a private fund called the ARK Venture Fund. The ticker is ARKVX. It's run by Cathie Wood. This fund basically it's invested in XAI, and all of Musk's companies. So by investing in this fund, you're going to be getting access and exposure to all of Musk's companies, including SpaceX. And when it does float, you could potentially, I don't know how much money you'll make, but you could be multiplying the money you invest. So you can you can start with an investment of $500. Now, I haven't got time to go into all of the ins and outs in this, but if you want to go down this rabbit hole deeper, if you want to get a high level overview, I'd strongly suggest you watch Jeff Brown's presentation on this. But Jeff has also released an in-depth report on this, which is available if you become a member of his Near Future Report. If you want to join his Near Future Report, I've been a member since 2022. I love the service. It's the best AI and tech stock advisory service out there. I'll leave a link in the comment description below where you can join for over 80% off. And you can, once you've read this report, you get far deeper insight into this opportunity and how you can invest in the ARK Venture Fund, because you have to go through a certain bank in order to invest in ARK. So yeah, if you want to join Near Future Report, get the complete lowdown on this in the comment description below. Anyway, that's what I've got for you today. Hope you found the video useful and informative, and I will speak to you soon.